Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
And good morning, everyone, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. On this big blue marble, it's Walt with you live from DFW International Airport. And let's see, what day is this today? Let me turn that speaker off there. That's a little better. It is Friday, September 9th, 2022. We're about a half hour, a little more than a half hour away from sunrise here, so it's going to be a little dark until then. I haven't even looked at what we've got in store for us today, so let's all be surprised at what we see on this edition of Runway DFW. We all like a little surprise, right? I can tell you that there are 3 UPS tri-jets over at the UPS hub next door to us. So maybe we should see one of those go off today. Don't see any 747s parked over there, and I don't know what we've got in store for us. So let's just all be surprised. Welcome to you. There's the, on the right in the shadows is the Talos. We have our infrared camera option on now, so that's why everything looks a little green. We'll turn that off once it brightens up a little bit. Here's a look at our morning sky in true color. As you can see, the just kind of beginning to shade into the orange glow of morning. And we are, as always, broadcasting from the Runway DFW satellite truck, which I've angled a little bit this morning so you can't quite see all the imperfections on its paint job. Still got to take care of that. So it's really, wow, the summer is coming to an end, and we are looking forward to it. Our fall is usually very brief here. We have a long summer and then a brief winter time. So here's our first flight of the morning incoming. It's American Airlines Flight 2755 and Airbus A321 from Seattle on Runway DFW. It's going to be quiet here for a little bit, I think, so let me see if we can attend to our messaging from all of you guys, which we always like to see. Getting camera 2 realigned here. So now we can go to camera 2. All right. Let's see what we have here. Bill Platt, one of the DFW Moderation Federation, good morning to you. And good morning to you as well, Ms. Wolves 13. Dwayne C. says, good morning, Walt and crew. Referring to our wonderful Moderation Federation, which we should acknowledge really often, but we'll do that right now. There they are. So when you see them in the chat and they've got that little wrench next to their names, be very nice to them. They're trying to maintain order and have a nice friendly atmosphere here at the runway. So thank you to all of you guys and gals all around the world for helping us out. And that's our date. But we already said that. Bruce Campbell says, good morning, Walton Mods. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Why, Dave? Does that refer to Wisconsin? Good morning, everyone. Our friend Pro Darshield Desai says hello. Hello to you. And we've got Durrani T. But first, let's see what we got here. Got a Dreamy Liner. An American Airlines 787-8, I believe, yes. No, 787-9. That one's coming in from Maui. So aloha to all of you guys and gals. And it looks like we just had a 747 land, a Cathay Pacific cargo, but it came in on runway 13 right, which we do not see from here. So we're going to point to our camera 1 down this way. So in short order, we should see it down this way as it makes the turn. So we'll get a look at it, and maybe if we're here long enough, we will have a chance to see it go off. Hope so. So keep an eye on that. So we said hi to Pro. I was trying to say hello to Durrani T from Saudi Arabia. Hello. We've got Marcy M checking in from Orlando. Hello there. And this is nice. Pro says, I have to go to school soon, but school is fun. So I love to hear that from young people. And, you know, anything we can do to promote plane spotting as an alternative activity for young people, I think that's good. Cold Chili says, hello, Runway DFW. How's your day going? Just started watching. Well, hang in there as long as you can. It starts a little slow here, and then it builds up around daybreak, and then there's kind of a lull usually, and then around 9 a.m. Central Time, there's a blast there's usually a lineup of jets right around before 9 o'clock. Bill Platt says is clarifying his role in this. He's one of our mods. We are not power mods. Every one of us are the nicest people. 99% of our drug is just to deal with spammers and enjoy the planes with fellow aviation fans. And I think you will agree that our Moderation Federation is top-notch. And I'm glad that they all agreed to sign on and hang out with us when they can. Connie G says, good morning, Walt, and everyone from Arizona. Howdy to you, Connie. Douglas Serrano back from his 5-day Florida trip. That doesn't sound long enough, Douglas, but I'm sure it's longer. It's just a nice break to get away from everything. So I'm glad you're back. Hope you had a good time. And Dunn Truckin' says, morning, Walt, mods and chatters. I'll be in the Lurkers Lounge. You know, there's nothing at all wrong with that. Lurkers get a bad rep sometimes, I think, but it's you know, sometimes you just want to hang out and watch things go by and not actively participate, but just kind of vicariously hang out, and you know, that's good. We've got a couple of heavies coming in. First of which is going to be a doesn't say what that is, but I'm pretty sure this is the Polar Air Cargo. Yeah, that's what it is. Polar Air Cargo DHL flight, daily flight from Cincinnati. So it's coming in from the north. We are pointing our camera to the north now. It's probably almost time to take out that filter. I don't think I can do it before this plane comes in. But anyway, this is going to be a Polar Air Cargo DHL coming in from Cincinnati. It is it's an oldie. It's a 29-year-old aircraft. Let's take a look here on Runway DFW. I was afraid that happens sometimes. So there it comes. Coming up behind it is a UPS A300 coming in from Denver. We'll check that out in a minute. Let me see if we can see our Cathay Pacific yet. I am not seeing it. Our next contestant will be that aforementioned UPS plane. It's an Airbus A300 coming in from Denver. It's an 18-year-old aircraft. We've switched off the infrared view, so here's the true color look. I still haven't seen the Cathay Pacific 747 coming at us yet. There's where it should be coming from. Nuno Costa, good morning. Beautiful morning this Friday. Watch your broadcast in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in the Azores on Terceira Island. Thank you for your transmission. Good weekend. Thank you, Nuno. Is it Nuno or Nuno? I didn't see an Enya in there, so maybe it's Nuno. I don't like to mispronounce names, but you'll find that I do sometimes. There it is. Or maybe that's the, no, that's the UPS plane, I think, yeah. Oh, but what's behind it? Well, there's two planes coming at us there. Oh, I guess one is the Polar Air and one is the UPS. I guess the Cathay Pacific must have ducked out somewhere. Well, no matter, we've got some other things we can take a look at. More incoming flights. Don't see anything out on the takeoff line quite yet. Gotta get our camera one reoriented for the incoming flights. And Bill Platt loves this camera view. You can see the curvature of the Earth. I know he's kidding around. It's just an optical illusion. It's a kind of an ultra-wide lens on camera 3. But it will play a role in something that we do later today. You know, I just noticed something. That the big American flag which I can't focus on right now. There it is flying at half staff in honor of the late Queen Elizabeth. As you can tell, it's an American Airlines arrival coming in from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 737-800. We'll pull out here to reveal this UPS A300 now arriving next door to us. That sign in the foreground, we can't quite focus on it, is a plane identification sign. It has the silhouettes of various aircraft. It's kind of old, as I recall, some of which no longer arrive, and I don't even know if it, I don't think it has the A380 on it. Ah, there's the Cathay Pacific. Our first queen, sort of the day. So we didn't get to see this one land, but we'll get to see it turn here in a second. And speaking of queens, of course, I know that's not a very good transition, but we do extend our sincere condolences to all of our friends in the UK and in the Commonwealth, around the world. There's that Polar plane turning in. But yeah, it was quite a day for remembrances and tributes yesterday when the news of Queen Elizabeth's passing was announced. So the flags over here at Founders Plaza, where we are broadcasting from, are not have not been lowered in tribute. I don't know if that's to come later. Maybe we'll get to see it being done. But the big one over by the radar tower has been dipped in tribute. I mean, Elizabeth had been queen since the year of my birth. So, and for a lot of people around the world, they've never known any other Queen of England. And so no matter what you might think about royalty, we'll leave that out for a second, but she seemed like a pretty cool lady. We will divert our attention momentarily to an incoming flight from Honolulu, American flight, our first 777 of the day, but not quite yet. About another minute till that comes in. This is bound to be making a turn here soon. Bill Platt asking a question I don't have the answer to. Maybe there's some super aviation enthusiasts or pilots who know the answer. The rudder on the 747, that the bottom third is separated or is separate from the rest. And the question is answered by Bruce Campbell. Yes, that is the trim tab on the rudder. So even without trying to learn anything here, you get an education in aviation. This seems to be coming way north of where it usually is. It going to park at the UPS terminal? That would be interesting. I've never seen that happen. No. Is it going out? Oh, this one's going out. Okay. Thought I saw one coming in. So I'm going to pull away from this momentarily while we see the triple come in. This one's from Honolulu. So there's the classic Cathay Pacific livery. Trying to figure out where this is headed to. No destination is given on flight radar. This big bird dates back to August of 2011, so it's 11 years old. Let's just watch it go by here. So wherever it's going, well, I can't really say yet. I don't know if it's going to be taxiing over to the east side or taking off from this side. I guess if I had to lay my bets down right now, I'd say it's going to make a U-turn and head off on runway 18 left. I had a question for the group. I was thinking about this the other day, if only because I've been wanting to fly for so long. When is the last time you flew on an airplane, and what kind of aircraft was it? And I'll give you my answer after I get some of yours. So this, aside from the plane, from the UPS planes that park next door to us, this is about as close as we get to a 747. Still no idea where this is going. There's the back, there's the front. Andreas says that's the Queen of the Skies. Bill Platt likes that livery, simple yet elegant, and the shade of green is stunning. Yeah, you don't really, it's hard to see that, or it's hard to pick up that shade of green in the current light that we have, but it's really nice. So, off to parts unknown goes this Cathay Pacific 747. I guess a safe bet would be Anchorage, because that's where so many queens go to and from on their way to the Far East. But safe travels to all aboard and the cargo. We were talking about flags a little earlier. Let me, so now we generally look towards the west here at Runway DFW, but occasionally we'll point our camera over to the, no, we look towards the east, sorry. Occasionally we'll look towards the west like this. These are the flags here at DFW Founders Plaza. And they're indicating a gentle southerly breeze. Here comes an American Eagle flight. I wish I could tell you where that's arriving from, but I'll get to that in a minute.
American 2380, approach 23 to DFW Tower 17 Central Line 11306, go. 30 knots on track. Alright, we're down approach speed.
Ooh, I see a Korean Air. Korean Air? Korean Air Cargo 747 is coming. It's circling around from Atlanta on the radar, and it should be here in about 8 minutes, says the radar. So our second queen of the day. I kept seeing this plane here in the shots that were going by. It's in the Iberia plane is, I guess, parked here overnight. It's not parked at the international terminal right now, so I guess it's just hanging out for a bit. So we have another queen to look forward to, always nice. Plane that just arrived, you saw in the foreground, was coming in from Manhattan, Kansas. That was American Eagle Flight 3297. And there's a new addition to our little presentation here today. We now have an easel set up to let people know what the heck we're doing here, because so many people come up and ask, what are you doing? What is this? So there it is, just lets people know what all's going on here. American Eagle Flight 3706 and Embraer 145 coming in from Stillwater, Oklahoma. A very short jaunt. And there you saw the tail of say this is American Airlines. Well, I know it's American Airlines. It's headed to Los Angeles. I was distracted momentarily by the alert that the daily A380 flight from London has just lit up on the radar. British Airways Flight 193. Seems like it's pretty close to being on time. Usually comes in around 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Let me see if we can capture this for a second. These are planes coming in on the parallel runways over on the east side of DFW. There are 3. We have 2 parallel runways over here on the west side. They have 3 over there. Problem is there's no really good place to watch them come in. So anyway, we were going to be looking at this American Airlines flight to Los Angeles, an A321. What you see there in the sky is American Eagle Flight 3138 coming in from Laredo. So that plane headed off to the City of Angels, giving us the opportunity, of course, to mention that our friend Kevin from Airline Videos Live is headed our way. Next month, as we cue the sun. Always like to stop down for that as we see the sun rising behind the Dallas-Fort Worth Marriott. was fun. It's going to be just a couple minutes now before that Korean Air 747 cargo gets here. So hang on for that. The sun, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes American Airlines Flight 1090 from Tulsa, 737-800. And so yes, our next arrival is going to be that aforementioned 747. So let's take a look if we can. We're right here on Runway DFW. The Pesky cargo plane. Don't panic, there's going to be some obstructions here. So I've just seen a featured flight alert on Flight Radar 24 about King Charles III is returning to London before addressing his countrymen later today. It was a relatively brief flight from Atlanta, just an hour and 41 minutes. An 18-year-old 747-4B5 ER. I haven't seen or heard anything about the Korean Air Asiana merger in recent weeks, probably in a couple of months. I'm assuming that's still on, or has it happened and they just haven't made any operational changes, or one of you must know. That's a lot of Pepsi, says Bill Caldum. And just in time for a Queen Hugo de Cara, and you'll have to rewind because you'll be able to see the rather beautiful Cathay Pacific cargo we saw just a few minutes earlier. Beautiful, says Burner. Oh, and Matt was clarifying that that Cathay Pacific flight we saw earlier is going to Atlanta, where this plane just came in from. So we're seeing a lot of Atlanta trade this morning. Thank you, Matt. So we're getting back to the question we had earlier about where you have recently been on an aircraft. Oh, and Bruce also mentioned the Atlanta destination. Thank you, Bruce. Matt Wright saying in late September 2021, I flew Alaska Airlines from Dallas to Seattle to Anchorage. Say hello to Ed and North Carolina. Hello, Ed. Dakota Piku says they were aboard a Frontier A321 from Cleveland to Cancun back in 2012. Tim Bell was aboard a British Airways 777 3 weeks ago. And I don't recognize, at the top of my head, I don't recognize either of those airport insignias. I should. But I hope you had a good trip. Bruce was aboard a Southwest 737-800 2 weeks ago going to JFK. Oh, and he's going on a JetBlue A321 next week. Connie says, I flew United Airlines 787-9 in March and loved it. I hear good things about that aircraft. Here is a flight coming in from Anchorage. And it's not a cargo plane. It's an Airbus A321. It's American Airlines Flight 399. Ending a 5-hour and 42-minute journey from the 49th state. And that's a 2-year-old aircraft. There's not really much in the way of clouds in the sky, so it's going to get pretty glary here in short order. There again, the east tower of DFW Airport. as we prepare to say hello to an Embraer 175 coming in from Midland, Texas. American Eagle Flight 3417. There again, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the curvature of the Earth.
4019 knows the way, expecting traffic short final. So 14 over.
Douglas Serrano last week aboard a Spirit Airlines A320 to Orlando. And Tim Bell is, I should have known Gatwick. I've flown into Gatwick before. UVF is Santa Lucia? Is that right? I don't know.
Good morning, Los Al. Go straight to the mic. 13 left.
So I was going to tell you what's going to happen on this channel after this broadcast signs off about 9:15 this morning. I'm going to try something a little different. Usually I pack up here, hightail it to the nearest Starbucks and work at my regular job from there for a few hours until I can take my lunch break and go home. Today, what I'm going to try to do is to hang out here after we sign off with this broadcast. But I'm going to start up another stream on this same channel, and it will be kind of a low impact stream. I won't be chatting away. There'll be no me. They'll just be pictures of planes. And I've got 3 cameras, which I will switch between as I can. And if there's any like notable planes, like a big jumbo or some foreign carrier, I think we get an Emirates and a Qatar plane coming in during the time I'm usually off the air. I'll step over to the camera and try to do a little more camera work on that. But essentially, it'll just be the sights and sounds of Runway DFW, or of DFW Airport, I should say. There'll be no chat room, no narration, just pictures and sounds. So it's an experiment, and it's just kind of my way to hang out here a little longer when I can't really do my regular presentation for you. There'll still be something to see if you just want to have something on in the background and watch planes go by and hear the roar of the jets. And so I welcome your comments on all of that in the comment section of that stream, and of and there'll be an email address you can send it to. Anytime you can send us email, it's at runwaydfw@gmail.com. If you've got something to say. And Bill Platt saying it's like sort of like a live B-roll. Yeah, there were some. I had a survey up when I first started this channel trying to feel for what users want to see. Do they just want to see a stream of airplanes coming and going? Do they want somebody talking about it? And overwhelmingly, I think people wanted the at least in my survey, people wanted the kind of personality aspect of it, or something to kind of guide them through it, tell them a little bit about the planes or what's going on. And that was my gut feeling. But I've over the months we've been doing this, you do get occasional messages from people who say, just turn off the music and the jingles and whatnot. And by the way, that was American Eagle Flight 5877 coming in from Lubbock, Texas, a CRJ 900. But yeah, some people just don't like all the chatter. They just want to kind of have the experience of being at an airport as much as you can. So this will be an experiment. It won't indicate what we're going to be doing in the future. But it gives, because it's such a nice day, it's still just 73 degrees here. My head's about to explode. That it's so pleasant outside. It's going to heat up later today, but not to the extent that it has. So we'll see what happens. So again, this stream will end about 9:15. I'll just reset things. We'll have a little different look to our presentation. And I just don't want people to get confused that this is what Runway DFW is going to become, because it's not. Just a way for me to hang out a little longer and still feed something out to the world. And Connie G says she'll check it out. There again is the radar tower here on the east side of the airport. Well, actually the north side of the airport. And the big American flag, which is flying at half staff in honor of Queen Elizabeth. And David Sheffield says, that would be great. Do not like the chatter like in LAX. Well, I guess I'm on the other side of that. I kind of like the chatter. I think it helps me understand things, and visually, if you can't look at the screen all the time, sometimes you need audio cues to help you understand when's a good time to take a look at the screen. So, but I respect everybody's opinion on that, and we'll give it a try. Maybe we'll make it an occasional feature, especially as the weather cools down a bit. And Bill Platt says, I would add a scrolling banner. Not everyone reads the description, briefly describing what people are watching when you do that. So viewers who join after the fact don't get confused. And Bill, I'm way ahead of you there. There will be a scrolling banner which explains everything. So, but thank you for that suggestion. And Cessna Testron said there was a C-130 flying over. Unfortunately, I think that was, your message came in 8 minutes ago and I did not see it. I did not see it, so sorry. And Plane Spotting with Keith says that flag is torn, they need to replace it. And I think you are correct about that. I can kind of see that tearing. That is a big flag, though. I imagine there's some bucks involved in getting that thing replaced. Oh, and it seems to be lawn maintenance day here at Runway DFW. We've got the mowers, we've got the trimmers. And of course these guys are probably enjoying it a lot because the weather is so nice. I was trying to get you a shot of them, but they're kind of behind some trees at this time. Check out our fleet of UPS aircraft over there. You see in the foreground an MD-11. I'm not skilled enough at tail identification to know what those others are. Well, we've got one of them is an A300 that came in earlier. I guess that's the one that's second in line, and then the other two probably 757s, I would guess. And speaking of our sights and sounds broadcast, Tim Wells says, I'd watch either way. It's nice to hear the aircraft type and departure. I do prefer to have ATC audio if nobody's talking. And yeah, we've thought of that too. We will have ATC audio going in the background. Wow, it's just turned dead here. Nothing in line to take off, but we're about to see some regional excitement. Oh, and we do have an MD-11 lighting up. Oh, and I see it's pulling out. It's way back there. No wonder I didn't see it. But if you can look beyond that fence, you can see the very distinctive tail section of an MD-11. They'll be headed out to Louisville aboard a 29-year-old MD-11F.
From the past, 1993.
Rupert Higgins says, hello from the UK, and again, we've got lawnmowers behind me. Your point about the chatter helping when you can't look at the screen all the time is a great one. It certainly helps me. And yeah, I do work all the time with one of our other fine broadcasters on the air. And yeah, if I'm looking down at my work and I hear the host say something about an interesting aircraft that's coming in, I turn away and look at it. The plane we just saw there was coming in from Grand Island, was American Eagle Flight 4944, a 701 ER CRJ. And here we go. For you tri-jet fans, now, typically the first MD-11 to Louisville takes off from this side of the airport. And there's another one that follows, which usually takes off from the east side. So I don't know what's going to happen. The unmistakable tail of the successor of the DC-10. So those two-cycle engines are kind of spoiling the beautiful sound of these three. American Airlines flight from Seattle is coming in. So you say you like UPS, cargo planes in general. Well, we've got UPS Flight 2879 coming in from Austin. This will be a 767. A 10-year-old model. And it'll be lighting up the skies just here in a second. So hang on for that. And Douglas Serrano and several other of our viewers note that that is a very steep, or relatively steep takeoff angle for the MD-11. That seems to be pretty typical of that aircraft. All right, here comes the 767. And this is an aircraft we don't get any passenger variants of here at DFW, at least to the best of my knowledge. Although a couple of weeks ago, I was pointing my camera down at the holding area south of Terminal D, and what did I see? It was a Delta 767 parked there. And you know, again, we have the brightest audience in the world, and somebody, it may have been more than one person, chimed in and said, well, that's the Seattle Seahawks team plane, and they were here for a preseason matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. So it was a charter. So we didn't get to see it take off, but we didn't get to see it land, but we did get to see it sitting there. So this is typically as much of a 767 as we see. I think we see, I think FedEx flies these here too. Oh, and was that Polar Air Cargo we saw earlier? That was a 767, I think, also. So if you're just joining us here on Runway DFW, we got to see a Cathay Pacific cargo 747 blast off for Atlanta. We saw a Korean Air Cargo 747 arriving from Atlanta in fairly short order. And again, this aircraft we're seeing, this 767, this UPS 767, is just now joining us from the city of Austin, Texas, the capital of our state. It comes over the ridge. Jane Harkis is saying, just saw a Vietnam 787 do a touch and go at Bristol Airport from London Heathrow. Don't know why. Well, it's gotten really, except for the lawn mowing, it's gotten real quiet here. Nothing ready to take off. I don't know if there's any delays. You know, sometimes if there's bad weather in other parts of the country, flights here will be delayed. So they don't have to circle around endlessly in the skies near their destination. Of course, weather delays do make for some interesting plane spotting sometimes. As we found out, I think it was a week ago, when there were, I guess it was last Saturday, we were getting diversions on planes that were bound for Mexico City, the Lufthansa 747. So that came in here, and then we also had an Austin-bound British Airways flight. I think that was a 777, or I can't remember what that one was. But the weather here was a little bit murky last Saturday. I mean, we could see occasional lightning in the sky to the east of us and some definite rain bands, but it never, I think we got just a tiny sprinkle here at one point. But as you can probably see from the grass and the vegetation, it's greened up quite a bit. We were in drought conditions for most of the summer, with almost no rain and temperatures 100 degrees Fahrenheit or more every day. I've been thinking about this. I need a button on my somewhere I can push that would just generate a time code for when I see a picture that looks really nice, like that, like this plane pulling in with the birds flying in front of it. Because I'll probably never find that again on the recording. And sometimes I'll go back and look at the playback, and you know, I'll see shots that I didn't even realize that I had. There was one time that I was filming the sunrise, and there were, you know, like a number of hot air balloons in the shot from far away. Some of them transiting the sun, and I didn't see that until the playback. Because again, I'm looking at, you know, like a 2-inch screen here, and things happen that don't show up on a 2-inch screen. So just to give you a, if you're new to us, you are watching Runway DFW live on YouTube. Of course it's live on YouTube, you're watching YouTube, so of course if you're watching a recording it's not live, so I guess I'll clarify that. But yeah, I put up this sign so that people who stop by and say, what's going on over there? They'll have some clue as to what's happening. And I just saw a notification of what I believe to have been a contribution to Runway DFW. Let me pull that up because I didn't see that go by. In a second. Wow. Well, I do want to definitely acknowledge this. It's Kells 1136 with a $50 donation. Please enjoy a few coffees on me. Well, that will account for a few coffees. Thank you, Kells 1136. I truly and sincerely appreciate that. That helps us not only get coffee, but also with our streaming expenses, which are not insignificant. So thank you. Here's one of our winged friends without engines, looking for breakfast here at DFW Founders Plaza. Hello there, little guy. And the big machines are headed towards us now. I'll have to make a mental note. Friday appears to be lawn maintenance day. These guys keeping it nice and trim for all the visitors to Founders Plaza. I'm sure here on the grass this evening, as the sun goes down, there'll be people kind of parked here looking for, just kind of hanging out. It's really kind of neat in the evening here. because there's so much room to spread out. People bring blankets and picnics and bring their kids and hang out. And again, I'm showing you this because there wasn't anything going on until just now. We got this United Airlines flight headed out to San Francisco. It's an A319. I knew there'd be some aircraft eventually. It's United Flight 2371. Bear with us, folks. We'll have more planes for you, I promise.
Alpha 9, wonder if we get the window off before we go, please.
However, I do have to say there don't appear to be any in the skies that are within 3 or 4 minutes of us. I've already told you about the experimental broadcast, which will follow this one. It's called Runway DFW Sights and Sounds. So there's that. So if you've got some spare time and you don't have anything else to watch and you just want to see some sights and sounds from DFW without that annoying narration, that may be for you. Hans von, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, Reachsey says, the quality of your streams has improved dramatically since I first joined the party. Well done. Well, you know, part of it, if you're talking about the technical quality of the streams, that has to do with our internet connection, and, you know, we're kind of at the mercy of the internet provider on that, but we do have what seems to be a pretty solid hotspot now from T-Mobile, and I think they've stepped up their game here because it was pretty iffy when we started, at least as far as our signal quality goes, and now it's pretty solid. So I'm very glad about that, because that was annoying to you know, our signal, you know, technically our product is pretty good. But, you know, when it gets filtered by the internet, sometimes it doesn't look as good at the other end, so. And Wadhaj says, hi from Lufthansa Technik in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, isn't that an organization that outfits, that kind of does the remodeling or interior work, if I'm not mistaken? I may be mistaken, but let me know. Breaker wants to know, he's talking about our internet connection. Bonded connection or single? Well, the T-Mobile home internet device that we're using can reach out to two different you know, 5G signals at the same time. So that's why I think it's improved. And the towers that we're hitting are now working much better than they used to. Nabila D says hello to all fans. Hello to you. We're glad to have you aboard. Neil Lockwood says, any 380s today? Well, we only get one a day, and it has now signaled that it's on the radar from London. It's a British Airways A380 from Heathrow, and it should be here at 5, scheduled for around 5 o'clock Central Time in the afternoon, 5 p.m. We will not be here for that today, regrettably. But if you're in the vicinity, come on out to DFW Founders Plaza. And Wadhaj clarifies that they do at Lufthansa Technique flight control, hydraulic pumps, pneumatic, avionics, slides. So, okay, it's kind of like a maintenance facility, I guess. Well, if you're just joining us here on Runway DFW, you know what, it's the top of the hour. Let's just kind of reintroduce ourselves, shall we? So standby affiliates for the official show title in 3, 2, 1.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Well, hello again, everybody. It's Friday, September 9th in the year 2022, and we're coming to you live from DFW Founders Plaza on the northwest side of this big old airport. We will be here for, what? It's 8 o'clock. We'll be here till 9:15, so another hour and a quarter with our regular presentation. Then we're going to shut things down briefly. We'll fire things back up with our Runway DFW Sights and Sounds edition. And we've explained that earlier, and I guess I'll explain that again later in the broadcast as we approach the end time. Now this is the 8 o'clock hour. We should start to see things pick up a bit here, because it has been very I don't know what happened to all the planes. This is the world's second busiest airport? What? But I promise it'll perk right up as we go through the hour here on Runway DFW. Well, there you see the tails of various American Airlines planes over at Terminal A on the other side of the airport. Nabila D says happy Friday to all. Well, she doesn't say to all, but she has a little happy face there, so I'm assuming she means to everyone. If you've just joined us, we also have lawn maintenance going on here at DFW Founders Plaza. So no, those are not aircraft that have been re-engined. Well, in desperation, when we're desperate, we always turn to the east side of the airport for activity. So at least gives us something to look at until something's happening over here. And the glare is such that I couldn't tell you what that was. Looked like that was Delta Flight 1505 coming in from Atlanta in Airbus A321. Will that be our only plane of the hour? That is the question. No, because we have some international activity happening now. Japan Airlines Flight 6713 off to Narita. In Tokyo. Plane you saw passing there is American Flight 2853, to Los Angeles. And it will be followed up by that big old Dreamliner of Japan Airlines. There it is. So look, I told you we were going to see more aircraft. Kind of getting worried there for a minute. I thought, what if there's no more airplanes, Walt? We are at a slight visual disadvantage here with the sun directly opposite our camera position. I'm hearing these lawnmowers behind me, and I just think how funny it must be, because I know there's lawnmowers there, but to people who are just tuning in, it must sound very funny. So off to Tokyo goes this Dreamliner. And plane spotting with Keith notes there's another Japan Airlines 787 coming in about 7 minutes out. And Connie G says that's going to be a long flight from DFW to Narita. I'm sure most of the passengers know what they're in for. Hope. Well, we were talking about plane trips, and my last plane trip was in the spring of 2016 aboard an American Airlines 777 to Seoul, South Korea, where my son lives and works, or at the time he was going to school. I think I'll just have to go back and dub in some legitimate natural sound of Dreamliner taking off, because it just sounds weird with string trimmers and lawnmowers in the background. So they're doing their job and I'm doing mine. And we are about to see another American Airlines 737-800 arriving. This one from the state capital of Austin. Flight 1632. Maybe I just need to get a new audio board with a lawn maintenance filter on it. Just cancel out all the string trimming and two-cycle engine sounds and leave in the sound of the jet planes. Probably not. We have a tri-jet lighting the skies, or lighting up the radar on the other side of the airport, over there. It's a FedEx. It's a 29-year-old MD-11F. Doesn't list a destination. Where might it be going? Now, typically, almost all the FedEx flights take off from the east side because that's where they're analogous, or they're, what's the word I'm looking for? They're equivalent of what UPS has over here. They have over on the east side. Does FedEx. as we catch a glimpse of some plane spotters on a canopy here at DFW Founders Plaza. Stephanie Hutchison says, late here, but my last flight was on a Southwest 737 from Charlotte to St. Louis in February of 2020, just a few weeks before everything shut down. And Ron Sees America is on the line with us. Good morning, Walt. Good morning, everyone. Hi there, Ron. Wad Hodge says Emirates airline coming from Dubai will land after the 1:30 hour. It's over Chicago now. And Douglas is saying, there goes a Frontier. That was my head you just saw there. Douglas is right, there is a Frontier. This one's going to Las Vegas. It's an A320. I'm sorry, it's an A220. No, it's an A320. It's got Hunter the Bobcat on its tail. Hey there, Hunter. Good name for a Bobcat. Now arriving from Guadalajara, an American Airlines 737-800. I'm going to be honest with you, this is one of the slower weekday mornings that I've seen here at DFW. Gives us an opportunity to check in on the east side where another Frontier flight is coming in from Orlando. And again, this view is from a couple of miles away. But it's going to disappear just as we get to welcome a flight from Silao in Mexico over here on the west side. As you can see, it's a minibus A319, American Flight 1017. Jacques Niel says bonjour from Annecy, France. So nice to have you with us, Jacques. I like to get people here from around the globe. Our next arrival is that Japan Airlines flight we talked about earlier. Arriving, we saw one go out. So it's coming in from Narita. And that completes a 10-hour and 51-minute Trans-Pacific flight from the Tokyo metropolitan area. And you see there a Delta plane. It's an A320. And it's going to be headed out to Salt Lake City. It's Delta Flight 2444. Hey, Kazu Rock, watching from Japan. We have now seen two JAL flights, one go out to Narita, one coming in, as you just saw. I hope you saw it. Glad to have you with us. Ron Sees America chatting with us from Charlotte Douglas International Airport in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's not flying, he's plane spotting. Good to have you here, Ron. We have chatted before here in person. So what can I tell you about this plane? Yeah, that one is a 20th century aircraft. "29 years old. I don't have the stats here. You wonder what, how many takeoffs and landings a plane of that age has endured through the years. And as it goes out, in comes an American Airlines flight from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Things are perking up a bit here. So coming over the bridge there, American Airlines 737, which is going to be taking off over here for Santa Ana, California. In the meantime, we're going to see American Airlines Flight 1750 arriving from Cancun. This will be an A321. Our next arrival on runway, say it all together, DFW. Excuse me, here comes a flight from Boston in Massachusetts, over there on the east side of things. It's American Flight 2527 in Airbus A321. And since we don't have anything else to look at over on this side, we will follow the progress of this. Another A321 from American Airlines Flight 753 coming in from Philadelphia. Here's that plane that's headed to Santa Ana that we saw just a bit earlier coming over the bridge from the east side. So wasting no time and So winging its way to John Wayne Airport in the Los Angeles area. Here comes American Eagle Flight 3837 coming in from Dayton, Ohio. There's always something new for me. I don't think I've seen a flight coming in from Dayton, Ohio on this side before. And there goes a little Martinair cargo plane. The next arrival is going to be American Airlines Flight 1066 from Mexico City. 737-800. Seems like it landed a little short. I mean, it's a long runway. There's no problem with that. Seemed to touch down a little bit sooner than most aircraft we see. Over here on runway 18 right. And Ron Sees America says, yes, hey Walt, we have spoken in person, and watching your stream while sitting here at Charlotte kind of brings me back home again, because you know that's my home airport. Now somebody was saying, Ron was saying, I see ground construction on the drive to the existing observation area. Is that construction for some new observation area? I didn't know about them building a new observation area. Very exciting. Well, I don't know anything about a new observation area. They have been doing some construction, or they've got some, like a construction yard to the east of us here, kind of under the flight path, but I assumed it was going to be some new parking facility. So yeah, I'll let you know if I know of any new plane spotting area. That'd be kind of exciting. Well, at this moment we've got a couple flights getting ready to take off. We have a flight coming in from Querétaro in Mexico. Well, You know, we've got a FedEx flight over on the other side. Let me see if I can snap a photo of that. It's kind of rare that FedEx moseys on over here. That was coming in from Fort Lauderdale as a 767. And you hear rocketing off now. American Airlines flight to Atlanta. The sun is right at the angle where it's kind of glaring off of my viewfinder and my phones that have all the information on them. American Flight 1770 headed to Fresno in California. Airport code FAT. It's one of those airport codes you don't forget. This is American Airlines Flight 2593 headed to Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Twin Cities. I guess Dallas and Fort Worth have never been called the Twin Cities. There's a lot of competition between the two. An incoming American Eagle flight from Chattanooga, Tennessee is about to enter your viewfinder, or my viewfinder. There it is. Guess we didn't get to see that one touch down, did we? We have our second MD-11 of the morning lighting up here from the UPS facility. I guess it'd be more accurate to say taxiing as opposed to lighting up. As with the last one we saw, this one's headed to Louisville, the primary UPS hub here in the USA. But Let's just see if we see this one take off from over here, because typically the second one goes over to the east side for a takeoff. So what's the scoop on this one, you may be asking, Walt? Well, it's an MD-11F.
$19.93.
That is when it was built. So it's 29 years old. Here comes an American Airlines flight from Colorado Springs. And as prognosticated, that big tri-jet is headed over the bridge to the east side of DFW. There it goes. We'll try to pick it out of the sky as it takes off. Kazoo Rock says, it is said that three-engine aircraft are difficult to control. Well, I guess there's more things that need to be controlled, so I guess that would make kind of sense. We've got American Airlines Flight 2612 coming in from Denver, Colorado. And there's an Airbus A321. And we're going to see if we can follow along with the MD-11 as it takes off from the east side of the airport. So bear with us for that. And I think I started to lose some flights in the glare there. Our next incoming flight over on this side of the airport is going to be American Flight 2326 from Des Moines, Iowa. Be an minibus A319. Here goes American Flight 2484 off to Montrose, Colorado. I was a little tentative about zooming in there because I absolutely could not see it on my viewfinder. Wind has picked up a bit. Seems to be a bit more easterly. Maybe southeast. No, it's definitely east. Or, no, south-southeast, something like that. This American Flight 1696 is off to Kansas City in Missouri. Despite the fact that it's been a little slow this morning, time seems to be flying right by. Ooh. There goes that MD-11. Look at it go right up. That's the UPS flight to Louisville, which we saw roll out just a little while ago. It went over to the east side. I was trying to keep track of it, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye. So there you go, our second tri-jet takeoff of the morning. Sometimes I look at the flight schedules for overnight when I'm preparing, and it's like UPS. It's like they take over the airport in the middle of the night. And that plane we just saw take off was American Flight 1805 to Oklahoma City. Sometimes I just kind of have to shut up as this cavalcade of aircraft parades before us, and I can't quite keep up with all the descriptions. I can tell you that that was a SkyWest plane operating on behalf of American Eagle. Coming in from, gosh, dang it, St. George in Utah. Mitsubishi 701ER. Here comes the air blower, the leaf blower. It's an Airbus A321 American Airlines off to Las Vegas. Meanwhile, a third MD-11 is over at the UPS cargo hub getting It's bay loaded. So I guess you could call this bay watch. Bill Platt says, holy cow, looking at Flight Radar 24, the traffic lineup this morning for DFW is insane. American Eagle Flight 3271 coming in from Roswell, New Mexico. I should play some sci-fi music right there. Wow, it's nice to see the sun, but it is so glary this morning. Landing seemed to have a little extra jounce to it. That was American Flight 2378 coming in from Houston, 737-800. This would be American Flight 1263, an A319 minibus on its way to Silao in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, yes. We have a heritage livery we can focus on, though. A little hard to see in the backlit sun, but that is the Ecamm heritage livery for American Airlines. That's Flight 1174 on its way to Guadalajara, California. Guadalajara, Mexico. But even in the glare, I could see that stripe. Bill Platt says, yes, Ecamm livery is absolutely fabulous, pure 70s, 80s vibe. More carriers need to bring back that look. Yeah, that's a fun paint job. And Connie G agrees. We have Robert Orblix Plays says, hello guys. Hello to you, Robert.
Air 458, just for your planning, Quebec is closed between Quebec 5 and Quebec 6, so if you can make the reverse on Quebec 5, I can take you north, if not, we'll just go around the south side.
Yeah, we'll plan on making the reverse at Quebec 5, secure for the team.
Off to Seattle goes this American Airlines aircraft. Well, I thought they'd finished up with that lawn maintenance, but I guess I was wrong. Wow, there's so much clutter on my radar screen now. I think I'm going to have to turn on the speed limit. You can turn off the, you can advance the, or you can adjust it so it only sees planes that are moving. That flight came in from Phoenix. It's American flight 668 and A321. And we're at the top of the hour. Normally we sign off on our weekday morning broadcasts, but we're going to stay with you for an extra few minutes before we debut our experimental broadcast. And it's called Runway DFW Sights and Sounds. And what we're going to do is just lock down our 3 cameras. I will try to switch between them as I can while I do my other job, which is to provide news and information to the Texoma region. So I'll set up another computer over here. Work on that. Punch cameras around as I am able to, and then if there's a notable flight coming in, some international flight or jumbo jet or cargo plane, I will endeavor to head over to the camera and operate it manually. So I don't know, we'll see how that works. It'll just be the pictures of the aircraft and the sound of them roaring and the air traffic control. And a little scrolling message at the bottom of the screen to explain what's happening. And I've kind of been holding off on this until it's a pleasant enough day at the airport to hang out here after the broadcast ends, because until recently it's been so hot that around 9 o'clock it's about time to go. Bill says ASMR live aviation could be a trendsetter. Well, I certainly would not be the first to do broadcasts with without narration. I know that one of the Chicago plane spotters does that with great success. So we'll see how it works. I think the difference is I'll try to be switching the cameras, so there'll be a little more variety than just fixed cameras. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. And Bill says the radar looks like it's a full-blown invasion. Yeah, I can't pick the airplanes out of the radar individually to tell you what's going on right now. We say good morning to Glenn Ecamm from Naval Air Station, Kingsville, Texas. Pleasure to have you with us, Glenn. Paratosh Paul says good morning, everyone. And Larry Lovett says, I'm thinking to start a streaming channel on YouTube for our airport here where you are. And, you know, I would encourage you to do that. I think people like to see aircraft. In fact, that's why I started this channel. And Lady Catlet is saying the Curious Spotter is the one in Chicago who does the unnarrated streams. Of course, he's following along with the planes. What I'm going to be doing is just having fixed cameras and switching between them, only going over to the camera when there seems to be something extra interesting happening. So we'll see how it goes. Here is American Flight 1395 coming in from Minneapolis, St. Paul. And there we have a K9 plane spotter joining us. Alright, so we got about 5 more minutes of classic Runway DFW before we do our little experiment. And again, we're going to end this stream and then start a new one. It will not have a chat room because I don't want to overburden our moderators, and I wouldn't have time to respond. But you will be able to leave us messages under the, in the area under the stream on YouTube, or there'll be an email address where you can send email if you want to make a comment. I cannot even begin to decipher what is on my radar screen right now. Just a whole mishmash of aircraft. Oh, you know what we're going to have to hang out for? Korean Air Cargo Flight 256, which is headed off to Anchorage, has just illuminated the radar. So that will be our final aircraft of this stream. And it's probably going to take a couple minutes for it to get out here, but we saw it come in earlier. We will see it go out. We'll give you the full cycle. Here's a Delta A220 coming in from Minneapolis, St. Paul. So there's the direction from which the Korean Air 747 cargo will be emerging. Should see it in just a minute. Or 2, or 3. And Michelle RS says, am I going to be there when Kevin is plane spotting? Yes, as many of you probably have already heard, Kevin of Airline Videos Live fame is planning a multi-day visit to DFW Airport next month in October. And I've been in touch with his executive producer, Brad Ward, and been trying to be helpful as far as that goes. And so, yeah, I certainly hope to get to meet Kevin. He was a big inspiration for my starting up this channel. And there was somebody else who was commenting before about thinking about starting their own channel at their home airport. And I don't know where that was, but yeah, I would encourage anyone to do it. When I was doing this, or when I was watching Kevin and Big Jet TV and the other airport broadcasters, I was thinking, well, where's the one at DFW? And nobody was doing it. But what Kevin was doing was a big inspiration to me, and so I'll be real happy to get to tell him how I was inspired by his fine work. That was American Flight 1067 coming in from Denver. And this United flight's going out to Denver. United 1214. 737-900. And there it goes. And now we do get to see the Korean Air 747. There it is. Alongside an American Airlines Dreamliner. KAL on the move, says Breaker. And Bill Platt, in a generous mood, is saying, I'll donate $50 for Kevin to finally reveal how he goes 12 hours without, well, I'll keep it kid-friendly. I think he means how he goes without going. But, yeah, I don't think I'll ask him that, but I'm pretty sure I couldn't do 12 hours. But I'm a little older than he is. Lady Catlet says, I was with him, Kevin, at the Hill for an entire Sunday show before I left the channel. He is there the whole time. Oh, there's no doubt about it. He is there the whole time. Elijah Sellers says, hi, this is so cool. I was just sitting right next to you and was trying to figure out where to find the live stream. Well, that's why we have the sign. But I'm glad you found us anyway. And Michelle is saying to Bill Platt, since Kevin was working with a TV station, he's used to getting around that. Well, guess what? I've worked for TV stations since 1975, and I've never figured out that trick. So he has some magical qualities, that Kevin does. So again, Kevin of Airline Videos Live is coming here, right here, next month. And I was watching his stream yesterday, and I was very surprised to learn. Now, Kevin's been around a bit. He said he's never been to DFW Airport. He's never even changed planes at DFW Airport. And I figured at some point in their lives, anybody who's ever been on an airplane has changed planes at DFW Airport. I just assumed that because it's right smack dab in the middle of the country, and if you're going from one place to another, and it's just a logical place to change planes. So I'll be fascinated to know what he thinks of this place, because, you know, you see something, you know, I've been here in the Dallas area since 1980, I want to say, 81, 80. But even before that, I had changed planes at DFW Airport. So it'll be interesting to get Kevin's take on this. Sneaking up on us. But somehow I didn't miss it. It was one of the 2 daily flights from Doha. Qatar Flight 66G, 777. So we'll have a pretty good send-off here for you. And again, this stream will end, but we're not technically going away. We are going to be here, and but I'm going to be working at my other job. How will you do that? He said to himself. Well, I'm going to keep the stream going. I'm going to punch up our 3 cameras to give some variety, but there'll be no me yakking away. It'll just be the sound of the aircraft and the pictures of the airplanes. And if we get something like, I think an Emirates jet will be here at some point. I'll try to keep my eye on the radar, and if something interesting comes in or goes out, I'll hop over to the camera and manually provide a better look at it. So it's just going to be kind of laid back. It's called Runway DFW Sights and Sounds, and it will be following this broadcast on this channel on most of these Runway DFW stations. Well, I guess that next stream is going to be late because it's supposed to start at 9:30. It's 9:24 now. I want to see this plane go off on this broadcast. So if you've been waiting with bated breath for Runway DFW Sights and Sounds, just hang in there. I guess maybe I could have just made it a continuation of this, but I wanted to turn off the comments or the chat room because I thought that might be a little too distracting. Terry wants to know, any Qantas planes due in? Yes, we do get a daily Qantas flight from Sydney, a Dreamliner. It comes in late in the afternoon, so we will not be presenting that to you this morning. Sorry. Connie G says, looking forward to the next live streaming. Walt, see you in just a few. Vistalight 1972 says, Emirates is sending the A380. Well, that if it is, that's news to me. Emirates usually comes in here with, they have one flight a day, and I'm trying to remember what the aircraft is, but it's not a 380.
RNAP park over takeoff 18 less American 1550.
So the big 747 is just waiting its turn now. It looks like it's going to be, it's not going to the north end of runway 18 left for takeoff, but it'll just kind of do a turn and burn right about where it is. It's about, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile south of the north end of this runway, which is a 2-mile long runway, so it is going to Anchorage, so it has kind of a long flight, so it'll be laden with fuel, but it's got pretty powerful engines. I expect it will not have to use all the runway. So this is going to be it for us on the regular edition of Runway DFW. We will, after this takes off, we'll say goodbye. We will turn off this stream, we'll turn on another stream, and start up Runway DFW's Sights and Sounds. So hope to see you there. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning or afternoon or evening, wherever it might be for you. Always fun for me to interact with the aviation community around the world, from the Azores to France to the UK. We are happy to bring you live coverage. So, okay, that's it. It's me thanking you again for hanging out with us on Runway DFW, and again, we'll just be around the corner. Just go to Runway DFW on YouTube and click our next stream, and we'll see what's going on. We'll see how that works out. Do let me know in the comments under the stream or by email, and the email address will be in the next stream. So, hey, happy contrails to you. Until we meet again in just a couple minutes. Thanks and goodbye for now. And hey, before I go, just want to thank all of our moderators for helping us out with this broadcast and the others. They do a great job. Thank you to all, and we'll see you next time on Runway DFW.
Stay tuned for Gomer Pyle next on most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it. Too late to change it now.